Good morning. So I'm going to start doing my PWH, horsing around with PWH stuff again for a request of a friend. And one of the things that I'm going to discuss today is I'm going to change a few things because I was finding as I'm watching my students work with their horses and having to kind of create a lot of energy in front of them to stop the forward. I'm like, we got to do something that's a little less uh, loud, yet knowing that we have to be loud, we have to find a way to make the body say more than the rope is saying. And that really got me wanting to spend a little more time being hypersensitive to what my body is doing so I can spend some time like physically handling the horse, feeling what my body's doing, showing what my body's doing, and then offering as best I can a description of what my body's doing. And one of the things that I find that I'm fairly good at is creating analogies that help people like relate from other things that they know, like car analogies, bicycle analogies, relations with other people analogies, things like that. So one of the new analogies, when trying to stop a horse from going sideways, the opposite direction that you're looking for. So like if you're asking the horse to go sideways to the right and he gets on the wrong page and heads to the left, how do you stop him? How do you ask them or explain to them that that's not the way you're asking for? Sometimes horses like to just assume. And as they assume, they're making a mistake. When they make that mistake, sometimes we jump right in there and really make them wrong for their mistake. And I don't ever want horses to feel wrong. I want them to know that that was just the wrong page, but I don't want them to feel bad ever. So what I came up with for that as an analogy is we've all had something about to roll off of a table before, right? You put something on a table that maybe is not 100% balanced and something is a sphere of some sort. It's a fun word to say. Something that's round and can roll. And it starts to roll towards the edge. Now, let's just say it's something valuable, like a crystal vase, and that's about to roll all the way to the edge. Now, two things. One, something very valuable. You're going to react quickly and try not to have it fall off the edge. Two, something that could shatter, again, would offer you that urgency to get over there and stop it. Ideally, when your horse is choosing the wrong direction, you can get in there and interrupt the thought. And how I started telling people to really pay attention to the horse's body. So like if the horse is thinking the wrong direction, their body will tell you they're thinking the wrong direction. They'll, if you're saying go this way and they've got to lean this way and they come off their right heel, they're telling you I'm going that way. They're not telling you I've heard you correctly. They're telling you I think I'm going to go this way. If you can get in there and say, ooh, wait a minute, that's not the direction I'm going to tell you to go. Wait a minute, you can kind of keep it from being an offensive. If you wait till they've made the mistake and now you're correcting the mistake, you could really offend your horse. And a lot of times your horse will actually treat you like, well, why didn't you say sooner? Because sometimes what happens is we allow them to take, 3 or 4 steps in the wrong direction before we tell them that's not what I wanted you to do. Well, why didn't you say so sooner? Like, why did you wait until I've made this mistake and really settled into I've committed to my mistake, and now you're going to tell me I made a mistake? Like, it wasn't what you wanted. Like, why wouldn't you have told me that while I was kind of asking? Because when they do that lean, assume that that lean was him asking, you want me to go this way? The lean is the ask, okay? If you can answer their ask before they just follow up with a committed movement, you'll have a much better relationship with your horse. So that with that analogy, you're able, so let's just say you can't or you didn't see the vase start to roll, right? You didn't see it get ready to roll off the table. You didn't see it start that rock before it started into a full-fledged roll. And now it's rolling and it's headed for the edge. You're going to be like this, right? You're going to have that sense of urgency to stop it. That movement will almost indefinitely stop your horse from going that way if you didn't want the horse to go that way. But if you're watching the horse go that way and the horse is, and it's like you stop and you watch the movie, and that happens a lot. So if it happens to you, like you find yourself just kind of watching the wrong thing happen, don't kill yourself over it. Don't beat yourself up, but realize that you did. Just pull up a chair and get some popcorn and watch the movie. We want to make sure that when the horse asks the question, you want me to go this way? Say, no. If you can say, no, I'm not looking for you to go that way. You can interrupt the question. You can say, no, not that way. I need you to go that way. And you can have a much more respectful relationship coming from them. They're going to respect you more because you're fair. You answer their questions and you're fair. If though they get going out of the way, not going the right direction and they're already in motion, now you have to interrupt the motion. So that's when you would be like, oh, like you're trying to catch something that's about to fall off the table. Oh, okay. That will stop the horse from continuing on. Now, the trick is you don't stay in this football stance, right? This is why I don't do this anymore because I always just stand in front of the camera. But you would be like this, but then you'd say the horse is going to go, oh, not that way, then which way? If you're not if you stay like this and you're staring at them, they've stopped, they've continued, they've listened to you. Excuse me. If you don't have an answer to the next question that they ask, which is going to be, well, if it's not that way, then which way? Usually they'll pop their, they'll get kind of a surprised look because you did a very surprising movement. And that surprise is, oh, well, then which way was I supposed to go? You need to be ready to say, I'd like you to go this way. And it has to be a totally different energy because the request is a loving energy. It's a, hey, would you please, right? I'd like you to, would you please go that way? But, oh, not that way. If you'd go that way, that'd be great, right? Being able to change gears is very important. Being able to bring up the energy for the, oh, and then, I need you to go that way. And you can even try to make it that, because you caught it. Like if something is about to roll off the table and you're able to catch it, what that sense of relief and drain of adrenaline, like instantly you'd have you like, oh, I need you to go that way. Okay? Even that whole scenario works. All right. So I'm going to do a bunch of these. I'm going to tell you my new analogies, and then I'm going to describe them. I'm going to try to show you in my body what I expect your body to look like and what your horse will understand and respect. And also you'll find that your horse will start to have a little more interest in your answers to their questions, and they'll ask more questions. Okay.